Hello and welcome to another What Sold on eBay video. I'm your host Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. We're going to go over some items that sold in our charity eBay store. There's going to be lots of bolos and lots of fun information that will be had in these videos. So we also have a special Worth Point deep dive at the end of this video, so you definitely want to watch all the way through to the end and we can talk about that special bolo via Worth Point. You don't want to miss that for sure. First up, we have this vintage Matthew Norman brass lucite. This is a Swiss carriage clock with key. Yes, that is a mouthful there, as you can see here. This is actually a little clock, and I want to say, did I put how tall it is? Yeah, it's about 4 inches with the handle here. It's very small. Matthew Norman is the brand out of London, as you can see here. There's a little bit of issues with the glass, and I did think I pointed a little photo of a little bit of chipping there in the corner. Really nice clock, as you can see here. A lot of the information is going to be back here. This is 11 jewels and Swiss made, so lots of stuff going on, especially Swiss made clocks, carriage clocks. Stuff from Germany too. Any kind of mantle clocks and things like that are usually worth looking at or doing some research. There's the side look at the mechanics there. And this was actually a pretty sweet clock. And it's called a carriage clock because of the way that it's supposed to kind of, let's see if we can get a whole picture of it. It's supposed to kind of like hang on a carriage. You know, you basically hang it on one of the little posts or one of the little things, and it's meant to be kind of rugged, as we could see there. And but the main point is Matthew Norman. It's actually a brand that most of you've probably never heard of, especially if you're not into clocks. It is a bolo brand for sure. There's some clocks that actually go for over $1,000 with this particular brand. These are very, very well made, almost like German precision, like we've talked in the past. We did take a best offer for about $350 on this, so like I said, it's just one of those things to look out for in your arsenal of things to look out for, and that's why you watch these videos, to see stuff like this. And up next is the sealed DVD. This is Deluxe Walk Aerobics from 2002. This is Leslie Sandstone. This is a weight loss DVD, as we could see here. It's a sealed DVD. And just want to talk about aerobics and workout DVDs. Still sell pretty well. There are some Vero brands to look out for, and I can't think of any of them off the top of my head, though. I think Beachbody's one of them. There are some kind of like brands that you can't list the items used or new, or there's something like that. So just be careful whenever you post any kind of workout DVDs, or kind of like weight loss stuff too, I guess. You'll just have to check it case by case against the Veros, and usually they'll usually tell you when you're listing one of those things. But I would definitely check the list. I think Beachbody is one of them, and there's some other ones. But these sell pretty well. Like I said, they're not like every workout DVD is going to sell well, but just do your research on them. You'll be surprised some of the prices some of them go for. Next up is this vintage antique silver sterling Mexico crown brooch. This got little bits of coral, amethyst, and turquoise. The turquoise are the little blue cabochons, and corals the little orange ones, and the amethyst is the little purple ones, as we can see here. I think this had some marks on it right here, and I'm trying to see if I have anything closer. And I want to say, was this Taxco? There's a certain type of silver called Taxco Mexico that's actually very well collected. There's 925. This is antique. This is something that's an older piece, as we can see here. Oh, there's the Mexico mark right there on the side. It actually was double stamped. That's kind of interesting. But anyways, you can just tell by looking at this. It's kind of got a very rough kind of look to it. And usually antique jewelry is not going to be completely perfect like modern contemporary jewelry. A lot of the older antique things are going to be all handmade, so you can see there's like a lot of imperfections in here, and I think that's what kind of gives this piece its unique properties and style. And this sold for $174. This is a really nice piece. For a sterling silver piece, that's actually a really good price. You know what I mean? Not like a steal or a deal for the person that bought this, but if you're selling this, usually these pieces don't go that high unless they have some kind of thing going for them. And this particular one, just Mexican silver, and it being stamped and all that kind of stuff, had a lot of stuff going for it. So definitely look out for this kind of stuff if you're out there and about. Next up is this PS4, PlayStation 4 Lego Worlds game. Just showing this. PlayStation 4 games sell very well. Yeah, if you can get them anywhere under $2, just pick them up all day. Even if they're crappy sports games, under $2 still sell well. You can easily double and triple your money if you can get any PlayStation 4 games under $2. So that's just kind of like a Bolo brand to look out for. Those that are in this reselling thing pretty much know about this, but some people that just might be knee deep in clothes and not know about PlayStation 4 games, they're pretty easy to spot. They all come in these blue cases, though there's some that come in like different colored cases, but 95% of the PS4 games will come in these blue cases, so you can't miss these. A mile away you can spot these, especially if you're at a garage sale or something like that. Definitely look inside the case to make sure that, of course, that the disc's in there, because I can't tell you how many times we get stuff donated to the shops that actually are missing discs, and to flip the disc around to make sure it's not scratched all the hell. As a matter of fact, I have a resurfacing machine at home, which actually does some help with this kind of stuff, but we haven't had to use that in a while because for the most part, everything that we've got has been either too cheap to even care about resurfacing, or it hasn't been high enough end to do the resurfacing, or just vice versa, where it's just, the discs are usually playable. So definitely look out for PlayStation 4 games. Next up is this 1984. This is Los Angeles Olympics. For those that don't know, Olympics were held in Los Angeles, the Summer Olympics in 1984. I kind of remember a little bit of it. I was about 4 years old. I do remember the bird, and I remember being young and this being a whole big different thing. And I do remember like bits and pieces of this as a child. And so different ephemera for Olympic sports stuff goes for a pretty good amount of money. Not this kind of stuff in particular, but this is stuff that you find at not garage sales, like estate sales, and like boxes of ephemera. I mean, even if you just like paid like $10 for a huge box of that stuff, sometimes one little thing could be worth hundreds of dollars that's in those boxes. So that's the main reason why I'm just showing everyone this particular thing, not because there was this this crazy amount of money that was made off this stuff. It's just saying like ephemera or like paper items that are meant to be thrown away, like ticket stubs and invitations and promotional buttons and things like that. Sometimes those things are worth a crazy amount of money, and you just got to kind of research each one of them if you have the time. Next up, we have this Funko Pop Isla Lucy Trio here. This sold for $34.99 without the boxes. And Funko Pops, we talked about Funko Pops, I think, in a video before or video previous. I do have a Funko Pop video. You'd have to do some searching in my archive. We talk about Funko Pops. And even sometimes a loose one is worth a ton of money. Like I had a Tupac Shakur Funko Pop that I bought for like $20, maybe like, I don't know, 8 years ago to do a custom. I was going to paint it. And it ended up just going in a box. And I remember pulling it out like maybe 5 years later and looking it up like, I wonder how much this is worth. And I got $250 for a loose Funko Pop. So some of the rare ones that were produced like, ages ago, some of those still go for crazy money loose without a box. So just one of those things to look out for. Next up, we have this Laserdisc. We get sealed Laserdiscs and Laserdisc in from time to time. I do get some questions from time to time about Laserdiscs because, I do a lot of stuff with media. And I will say that there's some Laserdiscs that are worth a ton of money, not too many of them. But the ones to look out for sure are any science fiction and any music and concert Laserdiscs. For some reason, those go for crazy amounts of money. Some of them. I remember selling one last year for $200 that I couldn't even find any information on it because it was like a San Francisco folk festival or something weird that, that I just couldn't find it. Here's some examples. WorthPoint is pretty much useless with Laserdiscs because like a million other things come up. But we can take a kind of like a brief kind of stint down here, looking at those, because you see a bunch of different things like Madonna, you know, live, like $129. The Wild Bunch, limited edition. The one to look out for is the Matrix, and I tried looking it up, and I just couldn't find any information on WorthPoint to even show. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Laserdisc Matrix. There's got to be one in here somewhere. No, there's not even one in here. That is... It's so rare that I guess you can't even find it. I remember these used to pop up. There it is. There it is. This one is opened and sold for almost $200. There is a handful of titles that are popular titles that actually go for around $200. So just, you know, do your research. I think End of Days is another one. So the Matrix is one to look for, and End of Days, I think, is the other one to look out for. See, they don't even have it in here. See if anyone's selling it over here. It's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But anyways, like I said, like 95% of Laserdiscs are not even going to be worth $10. Even some sealed ones are not even going to be worth $10. But there are some ones to look out for. Like I said, science fiction does very well. Concert music ones, like literally any concert music one, do very well. And just kind of do your research on that. Once again, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. If you enjoyed this video, definitely go down there and leave a comment. Tell me how much you enjoyed this video. And definitely click the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Take care.